Hello there and welcome to this edition of a late night Scream review. And this time we're reviewing Scream 6. Ah! That's what I did with the...
Guys?
So, hi there, we're talking about Scream 6. It feels like only yesterday we were talking about Scream 5. I mean, this film seemed to get rushed out really quickly. I actually didn't even know this was happening until only like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm really behind the curve on this one, so apologies. We're talking about Scream 6, directed by Bettinelli-Olpin. Sorry about the pronunciation. And in wide release in cinemas pretty much everywhere now. We're going to look at the plot. So the story is a continuation from the last film. Tara and Sam Carpenter, the sisters that survived the last encounter from Ghostface, have now moved to Manhattan. That's right, they're in New York City. And things aren't going to go as well as they had planned. So they go to New York to kind of get away from everything that happened in Woodsboro and start a new life and go to university, party, and shenanigans ensue. And unfortunately for those sisters, things aren't going to go quite as planned. Ghostface is back, baby. So, what did I think of this movie? I absolutely love this film. I can't lie. So, just like the last film, I hadn't visited Scream since way back when. As I sort of admitted before, I'd only seen the first two Scream movies. I was a massive fan of the original when it came out in the early 90s, mid to late 90s, actually. And then I saw the second movie, and then I kind of fell out with the franchise and didn't really revisit it until Scream 5, the last movie. And again, like I say, that was a nice refresher for me, getting back into the kind of Scream universe. This one is the same director, same writers, same cast, and I think for me, it's just a nice, well-rounded, quality, good time at the cinema. I went to my local cinema at the Savoy, like I usually do, went for an earlier showing this time, so there weren't as many kind of, how do we put this, loud people at the cinema kind of disrupting the movie. There were a few, though. It was kind of a half-filled, kind of perfect, kind of in-between kind of attendance. Went to see the movie and just rode it like a pony. I absolutely love this movie. What I love about this film is that it's in keeping with the franchise. It kind of pays homage. It respects its kind of origins, but then kind of moves it into the 21st century and gives it a little bit of a twist, which is kind of all you really want from a franchise or from a sequel of any kind, really, I think. I don't want a lot, I just want a quality piece of entertainment, something that gets you from A to B and takes you on a good ride. And that's exactly what Scream 6 does. It adds new elements, there's some twists on the narrative. Obviously, the kind of meta universe thing that Scream has kind of constructed is still in place. It talks about franchise as opposed to just general sequels. So the story now centers around franchisement, and that kind of brings all new tropes to the table. So it keeps the formula but adds a bit more to it. Acting is great, pacing of the film is fine. I think it stretches itself just a little bit too much, in my personal opinion. It could have done with a kind of tighter edit. But I mean, other than that, I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the deaths. Yeah, okay, it's just a bit more stabby, and there's not a lot more going on there. But the characters are great. The characters are well written. They're likable, so you actually follow along with their story. There are red herrings abound. Again, like I say, there's a twist on the Ghostface itself, so it's not just what we've seen before, but it's slightly different. And it's just fun. It's just a fun ride, and I think sometimes when you go to the cinema, you're not expecting high-quality art, you just want a good story and a good ride, and that's exactly what Scream does. It's like visiting an old friend. It gives me the kind of warm and fuzzies of of horror franchise. I felt like I was going back, like I say, back into the 90s or watching just kind of the next installment of a story. I don't think there's too many more left. I think maybe there's going to be one more movie for this kind of this character arc. And I'd be really happy to go see that film. The next Scream, if there's going to be a Scream 7, I'm up for it. I'm not one for franchises, and I'm not really one for nostalgia too much, if I'm honest with you. But when I enjoy a movie and I enjoy characters and I want to see what happens next, I mean, that's the kind of, for me, that's the only thing I care about. So the idea of the prospect of a new Scream movie coming in the next couple of years, I'm really excited about it. And that's saying something. So I think this film does a really great job. If you're a massive Scream fan and you wanted to see those old tropes and kind of revisit that world, but have a bit of a twist on it, a bit of something new, bring it into the modern age, just like the last film did, this continues that kind of arc. And for me, that's kind of brilliant, really. If you're more of a purist, or if you're somebody that likes high intellectual, creeping dread, thinking horror movies, then you're probably not going to get a lot of joy out of Scream 6. But I, for myself, personally loved it. I'm excited about the franchise. I'd like to see at least one more movie, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just really enjoy visiting the Scream universe, and I think this is just another great, fun, quality horror flick. So I highly recommend it. And while we're on the subject of Scream, just want to show you my new Scream t-shirt. I wore it last time. This is by an artist called Suspiria Land. There's no affiliation here at all. Full disclosure, I'm just a big fan of her artwork, and she does custom t-shirts and prints and posters and stuff. So if you look her up on Instagram, Suspiria Land, pop a little thing down here just so you know. She's an awesome artist. Again, no affiliation with me whatsoever. I'm just a big fan and wanted to point that out because this t-shirt is awesome. But that's it for this late night Scream review. Like I say, can't wait. I think we've got Evil Dead Rises coming up. We've got Renfield coming up, so we're going to do a review of those. But until then, keep scared, keep safe, and I will see you later. Bye.